guys, it's Barrett with Gimpy Camper. We're coming at you today from Rock Island State Park here in Tennessee. We're going to have a video on that coming out in the next week or so. Stay tuned for that one. Whenever we get done with that and get it public, there'll be a link right up here. So today we're here to talk about our 10 question video. You know, this is a video that's been going around a lot of RV YouTubers, and basically it kind of lets you get to know somebody a little bit more and their preferences and that kind of stuff. And so I really like the idea. I've been challenged by two different people to make this video. The first one was Kevin Robinson. I'd suggest you check their channel out. I'll put a link to his channel right here as well as in the description. And basically, you know, he's got videos on a bunch of different stuff. I'm pretty new to his channel, but they did make their own RV out of a cargo trailer, and that's always been something that's kind of intrigued me. So be sure to check their channel out. Also challenged me was the Traveling Pisces. You know, these guys live in a Class C motorhome. They travel around full time, and they have some good adventures. They're also foodies, take you to some different places to eat along the way. I find their channel to be pretty entertaining, so I suggest you check them out too, and we'll throw links in there for them too. So question number one. Question number one was, if you could change anything on your RV, what would it be? Well, I let the wife in on these answers too. She just didn't want to be on camera, but we're going to give you her opinion too. So what would I change about my RV if I could change anything? Well, I'm in the process of changing some stuff, which also have videos to come. But, you know, if I could change anything structurally about it that I can't really just change, it would be the awning space. Because our RV has opposing slides, and when you're inside, it's great. It gives you a bunch of room inside. And there's an outdoor kitchen in one of the slides, and so when it comes out, you have that space still available to you. But the issue is when that slide comes out, it takes up about half of your awning space, which I think in the big scheme of things, it's an okay trade-off. But I wish we'd find some other way around that so that we had more outdoor space that would be covered with the awning. And my wife's response is, she would change how much we owe for it. I understand that. Question number two. What was something you didn't expect when you got your first RV? Well, for me, it was to be making these YouTube videos. I never had anticipated doing anything like this. It's just kind of something that I said, well, let's give it a try, because we're going to be going on these journeys and let's document it. I didn't really plan to make any money on it or anything, but it has turned out to be more work than I thought it would be. And my wife's answer for that one was to be camping every weekend, which we don't camp every weekend. We camp every other weekend because I work every other weekend. So, but still, we go on a lot of adventures, and we're happy to bring you guys along. Question number three. What was the deciding factor when you bought your first RV? Well, for me, it was trying to get my wife to come along on my adventures. I got into backpacking a lot and camping, tent camping, all that kind of stuff. But I would go during the week whenever I was off, because I usually work 6 days on, 8 days off. And I was trying to get her to get out with me some more so we can enjoy more time together doing something that I like to do. She didn't really like to do it, but I thought if we got an RV, it might be a good compromise, so it would let us know if I could get her to accompany me. That being said, her answer was her husband. Question number four, what's your favorite meal to cook when you're on an RV trip? So ours is agreed upon together. We seem to make it about every time we go camping. We've slacked off the last couple of times just because we've worn it out so much. But it's Blackstone fajitas. I got a video for that. Put a link in the description here, and be sure to check it out. We usually do switch it up a little bit by using a different protein. Sometimes we'll use chicken, sometimes we'll use beef, sometimes we'll use shrimp, and sometimes we'll do what's called Texas fajitas, where we use a combination of all three. The biggest issue that we have when cooking these is we can't seem to get the proportions right, and we usually have enough to feed about 30 people. Question number five, what's your RV must-see destination? Now, I've set this up in a couple of different ways. I looked at it like, what's the must-see places that I've seen that I recommend that you go to, and the #1 places that I want to see that I hadn't seen yet. So the places that I've seen that I recommend highly is Crooked River State Park down in Georgia, St. Mary's just above Jacksonville, Florida, as well as Ray Springs in Ray County, Tennessee. Now that's a boondocking site. We don't have a whole lot of those around here, but I highly suggest checking that out. It was awesome. I saw that place on a video that Camper Van Kevin did, and we went to check it out, and we were not disappointed at all. And I learned something new about my wife. Hers must-see place that she's never been to is Texas, and the ones that I put on there were the Grand Canyon and Yellowstone. A lot of those places out west that I really want to go to, but it just takes so long to get out there from Tennessee, especially if you're pulling a camper. While working full-time jobs, we just hadn't had a chance to. Question number 6, what's your favorite thing about RVing? Well, for me, my favorite thing is because if I'm at home, I'm one of these people that most of the time I just can't force myself to sit around and do nothing. And so I'm always on the go, disability or not, who cares? I'm always doing something, whether it's renovating the house, working in the yard, working on the camper. I'm always doing something. And so when we force ourselves to take this time and go somewhere every other weekend, that forces me to take time. Besides doing these videos, I still do that because I just can't force myself to not do anything. And it forces myself just take a break and chill out. And my wife's favorite thing was that it gives us more time together as a family. Question number 7, what's your least favorite thing about RVing? Well, we both agree on this one, and that's pack-up day. You know, by working 2 full-time jobs, she works Monday through Friday, so that kind of cuts into our time a little bit. You know, I do have quite a bit of time off. Granted, I work 12-hour shifts and a whole bunch of them in a row, and then I get a bunch of days off usually. But it's pack-up day because these weekend trips, because she gets off on Friday and has to be back at work on Monday, you know, a lot of times we do leave, me and my daughter leave before she gets off work, so we try to get in somewhere and set up a little bit sooner because she doesn't get off till about 6. And so but it's still usually dark because I have to wait on my daughter to get home from school. And so, you know, it's just, sometimes it's aggravating because you get there Friday night, you have Saturday, and then Sunday morning it's like you got to pack up and go home. You know, I started to look at my daughter's school schedule more. Sometimes it messes my schedule up where I like to do those 6 days on in a row, but the way that I look at it is if we can throw an extra day in there, if she has a holiday off at school or something like that, and we don't have to start packing up Sunday morning, and we have till Monday morning, that makes a huge difference. Question number 8, what's a must-have on your next RV? Well, I'm hoping that's going to be quite a while away since we just have this RV that we just bought a few months ago. We're still doing some renovations on that, some upgrades, modifications. I guess they're not really renovations. But the thing for me, and really it would be on this one too, but I can't force myself to spend all that money right now, but it's to have a bigger solar system. Now I got 300 watts that I took off the other camper to put on this one that I've just not got around to doing yet. That's going to be soon in the next couple of months. But I want a big enough solar system where I can run the air for a little while or something like that. And if I do that, then you know you're going to have really, in all actuality, lithium batteries and a whole bunch of those, and that's just not some expense that I want to go into right now because that's a whole bunch of money. Now, my wife's answer to this question was a full-size refrigerator, which would be nice. The one that we have now works a lot better than the other one. Had some kinks that I had to work out of it in the beginning, but I think we got it all dialed in now and it's working great. Question number 9. What's your favorite adult beverage if you like them while camping? So I don't drink at all. I'm going to have to go on record as a fat boy here and say my favorite adult beverage is Mountain Dew. But I'm starting to watch my figure expand a little bit, so I'm going to have to cut back on that one. Valerie's favorite was flavored rum that we had a few months ago when we were on a trip. She doesn't drink that much, but you know, every now and then she likes a little drink. Question number 10. What's your favorite indoor RV accessory? This was a harder question than I had anticipated because of that indoor word. You know, a lot of the stuff that I have that I really like for the camper or for outdoor use or setup or something like that. So this one required some thought. And for me, I think that it has to be the Honeywell ceramic heater that we bought with the last camper. When we upgraded to this camper, it has an electric fireplace in it, and we really try to avoid using the furnace as much as we can because that sucker powers through some propane. And so, I mean, if it's really cold, yeah, we'll use the furnace too. But in the other camper, which was also 30 foot long, this little ceramic Honeywell heater, we have a video on it, but it seemed to warm it up enough down to like 28 degrees. And we have a little DeWalt fan that's a battery powered fan, which that I guess could have made this list too, but we're gonna have a video about that before too long as well. But with the fan and the heater, the fan blowing that heat around, it worked great. Now, if you get too low a temperature, you're gonna wanna use the furnace just because it usually throws air or heat down in the under storage area where your pipes are and stuff to help protect them further against freezing. But on normal everyday trips for us, if it's just a little chilly, that heater works great. Now our new camper with the fireplace, I was hoping to have the same kind of benefit there, but it didn't throw out as much heat as that little heater. So I'm going to put a link to that heater. I really like it with the dogs because it's got a tip over shut off. It's got a plastic housing on it. The housing doesn't get very hot, and I've been really pleased with it, and we've had that thing for over a year now. Okay guys, and so for the last part of this is for me to challenge some other channels to do the same videos. I looked through these before I recorded this the first time, and none of these channels I saw had answered these questions. And so I want to give them an opportunity to. So the channels that I nominate and call out are Camp in Harmony. By the way, all these links will be in the description. Down the Road We Go, 5 to Go, Going Nowhere Fast. So those channels I implore you to try so we can learn more about you and your channel and just the way that you enjoy things. You know, as RVers and campers, we all like to do things a little bit differently, and that's one of the things that I like about camping. You know, I'm one of these people that like all kinds of camping. I like tent camping, I like hammock camping, I like RV camping. And even with RV camping, I like to do all kinds of different stuff. I like to do some boondocking. I like to stay in state parks. I like to stay in national forest campsites. And occasionally I like to stay in the fancy RV resorts. I don't do that a whole lot, mainly because I'm too cheap to, because a lot of those places are between $50 and $70 a night. And if I'm going to spend that much, I kind of, you know, expect it to come with a bed. But that's where we are, and that's how we got here. So I enjoy you guys following along. If you don't mind, please just smack that subscribe button and ring that bell. Thank you.
Do not forget to hit that subscribe button.